We are live.
Awesome.
We are live. Now, I know there's other people live at the moment, so they may trickle in. So do you want to wait a few minutes to see people coming in the chat?
Yeah, absolutely. So how are you doing today?
Really good. Yeah, I feel more energized, even though it's 2 a.m., like in comparison to like other weeks. So whether something's shifted in me, like I feel like a different person this week to last week.
That's awesome.
So how are you doing?
I'm actually fabulous. I am doing really good. I don't know. Things, you know, we have a lot going on. Okay, so
Go hand, don't shoot the messengers.
Yeah, people are starting to come in
Yeah.
and say hello now. Yeah. Okay, good.
Hi, Johan. Hi, Trouble About. Not seen you before. Yeah, we've got about 11 people watching as people are starting to trickle in.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Everybody's kind of starting to pop in now. Everybody, that's good. All right. So, hi, you guys. Hey, Denise, how's it going? You guys, so basically I want to just kind of make a little like introduction announcement. My name is Michelle Thompson. If you've never seen me before, this is Trisha G. And we are doing a show every week on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock called Cosmic Consciousness. And basically what we're doing is we're helping you guys raise your awareness, helping you grow spiritually. We're always open to topics. So if you have any suggestions, the last two shows that we've done have been topics that have been requested. So Chakras was one that was requested. And then the last show that we did it on Third Eye versus Kundalini. And that was requested as well. So you guys, you know, if you have a subject that you want us to talk about, definitely just bring it up and we'll start, we'll do a whole show on it. So
yeah.
Anyway.
And you've got a great long list of some really great stuff.
Oh, yeah, I did. I made a list of some stuff that I thought would be really good. Thank you so much, Shannon. I appreciate it. Love you guys.
Thanks, everybody. There's lots of people coming in now. We've got Elle, we've got Shannon, Lisa, Jonathan, not seen you before.
Denise? Yeah, a couple of people I haven't seen before. You guys, I do want to kind of make another announcement real quick that I told Trisha I was going to do. You guys, whoever you are, most of you guys we know and we love dearly, but every so often somebody comes in and they want to just create havoc and just not be nice. And so what we really ask is that if you're new and you've never seen us before, you know, if you don't like it, just exit out of here and, you know, and just, you know, it's no big deal. You know, maybe we're not for you. But if you do love us and you think we're awesome, we really appreciate it that you hit the like button. The more that you do that, the more it gets seen and other people get to see it. And, you know, and our whole job here is just to spread love and lightness here. Now, I'm not getting paid for this. Trisha's not getting paid for this. It's 2 o'clock in the morning for this girl. Okay. We're doing this out of the love of our heart. Okay. You know, I have family waiting for me at home and I'm staying here at my office doing this for you guys. Okay. And we're just care about the world. We care about you guys. And we just really want to help, you know, raise the consciousness. And so like, if you watch the show that I did personally last week, you know, you'll know that I was really kind of harping on this whole thing. and, you know, because there was a person that said something kind of nasty on a YouTube video about people like us. And it was just a little jealousy. And what I asked everybody to do was just to send them love. Because we're not going to get angry about this. We're not going to get hurt. We're just going to, you know, just keep on doing this. We're just, you know, we're asking you guys just, you know, keep on hitting the like button. And the more you guys do that, the more it kind of like just makes those people like that disappear. Okay. And again, if you are one of those people, just exit, you know, go find something else to do if you don't like it. You know, it's, we're here just to help. And that's it. The love of our hearts. So anything you want to add to that, Trisha?
No, I just want to say we've got some pretty amazing people in here tonight. So it's looking good. And I've made a little amendment anyway, so those that were getting off on doing all the dislikes like in seconds won't see that anymore, so it won't matter. But yeah, give us a thumbs up, and any subjects that you'd like us to cover that we haven't covered, then do leave them in the comments afterwards. Just want to say hi to everybody, because lots of new people, there's a few new people in tonight.
Yeah, people I've never seen.
Yeah.
There's I don't know how to say that. Is it AKS Salaberry or something like that?
We call him Earl. So.
Oh, okay. He says he's never seen me before. So I've actually done like 3 or 4 shows with Trisha, and we're doing a show every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. So, you know, always join us. Okay.
Yeah, I've not seen Earl for a little bit, so he's probably been like, maybe not been catching the lives. So yeah.
Shannon, things are changing, and we are all seeing it. You know, the consciousness is raising. Everybody's consciousness is raising, and it's because people are getting out there, and they're like us, just normal people that are getting out there, and we're just trying to spread the word. You know, we are here to help you guys. I know that I'm a life coach. I'm also a hypnotherapist and a spiritual teacher, and I have my own practice. I'm actually in my office right now, and I do virtual sessions, and I'm here to help people as well. But all of this that I do is on my own time. And Trisha is a numerologist. She's also a life coach, and she's also here to help you guys as well. So if you ever want to, you know, get a private session with either one of us, all you have to do is just send us an email. All of our information is in the contact information here.
Just quickly to add to that, this is the best month. They're all buy one, get one free, because it's my 8th year in self-employment. So it's my anniversary now, and everything is buy one, get one free. So you want a numerology profile, you get one free. All the sessions. So that's my gift back to everybody. So
oh wow, that's awesome.
This would be a great time if you've really wanted to invest, or go harvest with a friend. If you know finances are a little bit tight, you can split it with a friend.
So you guys also too, I'm extending what I said last week, that if you like and you share this video, you send me an email. I'm just going to trust that you did it, and just send me an email to michelle66thompson@gmail.com, and I'll send you a copy of my ebook on how to reprogram in your mind to get rid of all the negative thoughts. And it's a step-by-step workbook. So if you're interested in something like that, all you have to do is like and share, send me an email saying, hey, I liked and shared, and I'll send it to you. Okay.
And Michelle's email is in the description. So it's the first thing you'll see in the description. There's something else I was going to say then, and maybe it'll come back to me. I can't remember what I was going to say now. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So you want to lead this whole thing? We're going to be talking about chakras tonight.
Chakras, yeah. And I know that. Yeah, just quickly, there are 7 planetary bodies like in retrograde right now. That's what I was going to say. I knew there was 7 planetary bodies, and the reason I say bodies is because Chiron isn't a planet. So if you're feeling this intensity, and it's a real great time for growth, like working on that inner stuff, things are going to come up from childhood, all sorts, because obviously we've got 7 planetary bodies, all that sort of affect different areas of our lives, are all in retrograde right now.
So why don't you tell us what that means? I know we're supposed to be talking about chakras, but I'm curious. I'm not really good with this kind of stuff, so quickly, because obviously I'm not an astrologer, but I've been learning over the years, because I've got quite a few astrologer friends, and I'm always but I wouldn't class myself as an expert astrologer. But what is retrograde? When I always
when a planet appears to be going backwards, it's not actually going backwards, but it appears, it's an illusion, it's slowing down. So like so most people have heard of Mercury retrograde, which we're in now, and it's in Leo. So it's a time for reflecting, reviewing communication, anything to do with communication and travel. You want to double, treble check everything. Like if you're doing a live like this tonight, double, treble check everything. I went live earlier, and we found some of the USB ports in this very new computer had blown. Like, luckily we've got quite a few, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to go live. And I didn't know until last minute. So it's like being well prepared, and anything to do with signing anything legal, buying anything big and expensive, double, treble check everything, because you might have to redo it all after Mercury retrograde. And we're not really out of the shadow till probably September. It's because we have a shadow. So we've got Mars retrograde, which is the planet of action. We've got, I believe, we've got Uranus has just gone retrograde. We've got Chiron retrograde, which is the wounded healer. That's not a planet. We've got Neptune retrograde. I should have them all in front of me, actually. I have done some recordings on all the retrogrades, but it's all about slowing things down. So a lot of people are going to be feeling frustrated, but it's a good time to reflect and like, what do I need to let go of? What do I need to do differently? You know, that's
right. I understand.
And it's going to affect everybody slightly different, because if you're a Gemini or a Virgo, Mercury retrograde, we're ruled by Mercury, so it's going to affect us more than others, or if you've got those aspects strong in your chart.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Thanks for...
So yeah, things like that.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's other people that didn't know. I'm not the only goofy one that
doesn't. Oh, no. I mean, there's like most people have heard of Mercury retrograde, but then you've got like Neptune, Pluto, Uranus, like not everybody. And Uranus is retrograde till January. So some of them are retrograde for longer than others. So yeah, just a little touch on that. I'm doing like a weekly, what I'm calling cosmic event like report that I'm putting out there every week. So that's
what sounds interesting.
Yeah, that's much. I know I said that to him, like every man and his dog is live tonight on the 8th of the 8th, and they call it the Lion's Gate, don't they? Apparently the 8th of the 8th.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so great day.
So I know you have done tons of research on this, and just not that you didn't know about it, but you just wanted to like make sure that you're like really covering everything. So, you know, you wanna start with chakras?
Well, I've written some other notes, which I'm not really going to go into because I had them prepared through the week, but I had my eye problem. So I'm just going to go straight into it I believe we have probably more than, we're just going to talk about the 7 main chakras, but I believe we have other, or chakras, however you pronounce it.
Yeah, some people say, you know, I think it depends on where you're from.
Is it chakra or chakra?
I've always heard chakra.
Chakra, yeah. It just depends what you know what I mean, though. Yeah,
absolutely.
So the root chakra, number 1, or what they call the base chakra. So I have got notes in front of me because I won't remember. I knew a lot of this stuff, but it's good to like freshen up on it. I know there'll be a lot of people that don't know this information. So this is your connection to Earth, and it's like your survival. The root chakra is where, you know, it's your survival, and it develops from birth to the first year in your life, apparently. So it is, maybe that's why they call it primary. It's your basic instincts. So it's your survival. So a lot of people that feel ungrounded or don't feel rooted and grounded, what can knock the base chakra out? Obviously, it develops from birth to 1 year old. So if you have a lot of trauma in that first year as well, it could make you feel very ungrounded, I would imagine, as a child. But other things are like illness, loss of a loved one. So like when my father passed, anybody that's lost a loved one, I'm using my father as an example, it can just knock your root out of whack. So especially if it's like a husband or a wife, somebody that you financially are reliant on, or brings in like maybe a majority of the income in the house. So a loss of security that person may have provided, especially if you're married, emotional or financial. So it doesn't have to be financial, it could be emotional. And the ways of knowing that your root chakra is out of whack is you may see the future very negative. You may feel that life is dangerous, that the future is dangerous, and you're very stuck in the past. You may feel very restless, have trouble holding down a job, which you see that a lot in people that have a trouble holding down a job. You drift from one thing to another because you're just not rooted, you know, you can't stick at one thing. You're insecure, your needs are not being met financially or within personal relationships. So if you're really struggling financially, it could be, you know, you need to sort of do some work on your root chakra. Or it could be shown in greed of possessions or food. Now, I've seen this actually with people that do have all this, that they're still like holding on to possessions and food. You might resent or are envious of others who you perceive to have more than you. I mean, I'm actually not somebody that's like that. I'm always pleased for people that have more, but I know there are some people that do struggle.
That jealousy thing.
That jealousy thing is a sign of root chakra imbalance, and you just see the world as unfair.
So one of the things that I've found with people that do not have their root chakra, like some people say open, some people say actives, you know, however you want to say it. But the thing is that you can always see the signs. So like what you're saying is the signs are, you know, you don't have a job, or you're not grounded. And that is what the base or the root chakra is about being grounded in the physical world. And a lot of times, you know, people that are real spiritual don't have that balance in the root chakra because they're so flying out in the high, you know, you know what I'm saying?
And won't charge for their services, but they're broke, you know?
Right. And so they're like, oh, just love and happiness. And I'm all about that. Absolutely. But I'm also about business and taking care of yourself and grounding yourself, because we have to survive in this world. And so you'll notice that people like that don't have jobs, or they're, you know, living off Social Security or something like that. They start to develop major problems in that area. And that's what Trisha was just talking about, is you may have lower back problems. You may have problems with your ovaries. You may have bladder issues. I don't remember all of them that you said.
There's leg issues.
Restless leg.
I haven't got to the illness, but yeah, there are some physical signs as well in the body that we're going to come to in a minute. It's just a little bit more. I'll go through the rest, and then so signs of that it's balanced, or, you know, they say clockwise is when your chakra is spinning healthily, apparently, and counterclockwise when it's imbalanced. So a balanced root chakra will be seen as you feel safe, comfortable, you feel secure in yourself wherever you are. You live for the now. You don't criticize others or point out their faults, because that's a sign of you know, imbalanced root chakra. You respect others and allow them to be themselves. The physical signs of so you might see it more in a physical sense for somebody, is pain or discomfort in the legs, knees and spine, sciatica. And it's interesting because I've had that once many years ago. Paralysis, depression, low mood, bowel problems, because obviously it's all down there, and constipation. So it's due to not letting go. So anybody that's constipated, it's a sign of you're really feeling scared, and you're trying to literally holding on to life and everything inside.
Absolutely. And by the way, I don't know if you read what Anton just said, but
What did he hear?
He said that he collected welfare and worked under the table and sold weed. He's always making comments. Yeah, anyway, so
I know what he's referring to.
That's funny. And so I thought that was kind of hilarious. So maybe we need to talk to Anton privately and work on his root chakra.
He could be He could be inferring about others, maybe, but I don't know. He may have.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Funny. Anyways, I just thought that I'd throw that out there because that was really kind of funny. I'm trying to
It's funny.
We're coming in so quickly. Hi, everybody. Hi, Michelle.
We got 31 watching now, so I think that's
yeah, you guys, awesome. And by the way, next week it's going to be on my channel, so make sure that you go to my channel and subscribe.
We're alternating it each week.
My YouTube channel, you guys. So I have been really active on Facebook, and I've neglected the whole YouTube thing. So I'm really working on that. So if you can do that, that would be appreciated. So
he said he did do that. He's been honest. Okay,
Anton, let's get in contact here. We need to work on your root chakra.
Probably like that.
Yeah, he's probably fine now,
Works, yeah, he's got a job. So well, Michelle isn't my guest. We're it's a joint because Lavera's probably not seen you before, that we're co-hosts on this every Wednesday. There might be the odd Wednesday if something comes up, but this is our weekly show that we do. But next week going to be on Michelle's channel. So yeah, is there any more you want to add to the root chakra, or?
No, I think we kind of covered it. Unless anybody has any questions. So what blocks chakras? Our thoughts and feelings. Oh, okay. So trouble.
It can be trauma.
Yeah, trouble about is the one who just asked that question. So Anton, you sent me a message on Facebook. Okay, I will talk to you about that later. Anyways, yeah. So what blocks the chakras has to do with the emotions, actually. And so if you're constantly living in fear and you have a lot of jealousy and you're not and you feel like that you're never going to be successful, or you're feeling unworthy, or you feel insecure, all those things are keeping you from being grounded in this world, because the root chakra is about finding your place in the physical world. And so if you're having emotions that are relative to that particular thing, well, not expressing emotions, Volley T, is really more in line with the throat chakra, which we're going to get to in a minute. So
isn't yoga a good one for your chakras?
Yoga is really good for just getting your energy flowing all together. And so yes, I absolutely agree with that. Shannon King just said, how do you unblock? So basically, if your root chakra, so we're just talking about root chakra right now, if your root chakra is blocked, a lot of times doing things that are relative to that particular chakra, the opposite of what the problem is. So really working at, going back to school, get an education, get a really good career going, start working on your self-esteem, and start finding that place in the world. Create your own security. And then also too, affirmations are really good. A lot of times if you have mala beads, okay, so I just have them on my wrist today, but if you buy the mala beads that are 108 mala
108,
beads,
yeah,
and you just sit there and you go through them one at a time. So you start at this one right here, and you go through the 108, and you just say an affirmation, and you say, whatever it is, I am safe, I am secure, I am grounded, whatever it is that you want to say that is relative to the issue that you're having. So perhaps you're experiencing jealousy with other people's lives. So you say, I'm secure with my own life, and I'm happy with where I am in my life. I'm grounded, say something that is opposite of that. And affirmations are extremely powerful, especially if you do the 108 and you do it for 30 days. So that's, and then you can also do chakra meditations. I was actually in the middle of creating a chakra meditation for you guys, and I was going to put it on YouTube, and I realized I totally screwed up. I forgot to say the colors, and I said I did the red one, I did the orange one, I did the gold one, And then when I got to the heart one, I just started talking heart chakra. I didn't talk about it. It was green. I didn't say the colors for the rest of them. And so I was like, I got to start all over, and I ran out of time. So
we can
I'm going to do it, and I will be posting it. And if you're subscribed, you'll end up getting the notification. So I will do a chakra meditation for you guys, which will be like affirmations on those chakras. So that helps a whole lot. And do you have anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, it was Bailey T said about eating colors like red foods. I know it's good. And also wearing like red underwear is actually fires up the base chakra. Interesting. That's something I've known for a while. You got to be careful if you've got an overactive base chakra, then be careful wearing red underwear. But there is actual science behind that. Believe me.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. So it fires it up, and I absolutely agree with that. But you guys, you got to remember the reason why it's closed.
Yeah.
You're not grounded in this world. And that means that you don't have a good job or a career or something like that. Thank you, Michelle. And so, you just gotta keep on doing things that's gonna, overcome that particular issue. V8 juice, yes. Anton, it's red. I know where you're going with that, but it's actually fairly healthy as long as you do the one that's not salty, like the low salt or something like that.
Well, you can get red boxer shorts for men if you're lacking in that umph.
But don't get so woo-woo, you guys, that you think that if you're just like, oh, if I go wear red and drink, red juice, that suddenly I'm going to be a VP of some company and suddenly I'm grounded. It doesn't work that way. What it does, it gets the energy going so that you can accomplish those things.
Because you could be a CEO of a company, but have so much fear about losing it all. You'll be ungrounded. And absolutely. If you're holding on to all, you're not going to be grounded. So it's not just.
Absolutely. She's actually, and that's so great that you brought that up, because you're absolutely correct on that you can, I know somebody who owns a multi-million-dollar company that stresses all the time, constantly worried that the company is going to go under.
Yeah.
The person's chakra is just all out of whack. And it's about feeling secure and grounded. And that's kind of the sum of it. So the next one is the sacral chakra.
Yeah.
Right?
So they often say this is orange in color. So it's just below the belly button. And this is about personal gratification. And it's also, I don't know if I wrote this down on all of them. It's like a water element, the sacral chakra. So signs that your sacral chakra is unbalanced is that you may be selfish and you put your own needs way above other people. Now, a little bit of selfishness is healthy, but when you're just completely, it's all me, then it's going to be unbalanced. You may not be a very happy person, not able to manifest happy relationships, or they're very superficial friendships is a sign. And also I do believe, but we'll get onto that in the physical, is to do with like reproductive area. So signs it's balanced are you're comfortable in your own skin. You don't feel like you have to dominate everybody. You can freely express without being malicious or cruel. You have abundance of friends, or you may attend social environments, and you feel very comfortable to do so.
It's interesting because that you just brought that up, because that's what I always thought of the sacral chakra. I've always seen that as being your place in this world, like how other people view you, like how it's your community, like like when you said the thing about having lots of friends and having a social life and being creative and getting out there and exploring the world. It's about your, excuse me, I'm having throat issues tonight. It's about how other people are seeing you and how you're interacting, your community, your place in this world, that kind of thing. And everything that you were saying is like right on the money, you know. I think that a lot of times people that have issues with their sacral chakra are people that don't have a lot of friends, that don't do anything. They just come home, they go to their house and they watch Netflix, and you know, they don't own an animal. They have so they're not getting out, they're not socializing, they don't have any creative outlets in their life.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, the creativity is a huge thing as well for the sacral chakra. So what are the medical issues with that?
Okay, so imbalance is just, if it's imbalanced, signs are your circulation, you have circulation problems, lymph problems, kidney problems, UTI, you know, urinary tract infections, reproductive problems. So for the women or men that are having a lot of, particularly women, you hear of a lot of this. If you're having real problems in the reproductive area, then it's a sign that it's out of whack. Emotional problems and general aches and pains in that area. So you may have a fear of letting go. Read my writing. So when you let go of the fear of letting go, it becomes more balanced, and you find that your aches and pains will go away. And there's something I have to share. I mean, it's quite, I'm not going to go into. I find when I have a healthy sex life with a partner I feel safe with.
Oh, no. Are we going back to the sex thing again?
No, this isn't like rude. This is like scientific. So
no, I'm just kidding. Just like the last show we started talking about.
No, seriously, when I have a healthy relationship with someone I trust, I don't have back, you know, like it's all healthy and you trust that person, you feel safe. I don't have lower back pain. I don't have problems in the reproductive area. So it could be even the partner you're with, you don't feel safe with, because when I was with someone I didn't feel safe with,
well,
I had all sorts of issues.
This is about community, and having a partner is a community. It's like it's your interaction with other people, and when you have those people in your life, a partner or friends or people that you care about and that you're interacting with, and that you're even physical with, you find that that chakra is a lot more active, and like you said, the lower back pains go away.
And maybe even the period pains. Like a lot of women have period pains. And I wanted to share this because I know it's quite personal, but there's lots of women this will speak. I don't have any pain when I'm in a healthy, nothing.
Like your menstrual pain?
Yeah, no menstrual pain whatsoever. Because apparently it's not meant to be painful.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
interesting. You know, but I won't go too deep into it because there's guys in and they probably don't want to hear about the ins and outs of the women's cycle. But yeah, it's not meant to be painful.
Anton's going to start making comments about that pretty soon.
Yeah, he said it's hump day, Michelle. So like, but yeah, I know, like, it's not meant to be painful. This was from Deepak Chopra when he was talking very much. It's not meant to be painful, and it's, you know, there's all these different signs of it being healthy, but you don't hear of many women saying that it's not painful and it's X, Y, and Z color and it should be free flowing and of a sign of a healthy cycle.
It's interesting that you said that, because my husband believes that during that time, that the more orgasms that you have, the less the pain is, and so he's all about like, well, if you're hurting, then we need to be like doing the multiple orgasm thing. So
he's right about that. There's a lady called Dr. Andrea Pennington, and she wrote the book, and I actually have got it. It's called The Orgasm Prescription. And
you told me about that, I think. And
I told you about that before. And she prescribes minimum of 3 a week, minimum for optimal health for women. Oh, Shannon. Yeah, I think someone did it by accident, Shannon. They didn't. Wendy timed you out by accident. She didn't mean to do that, but you're back in now. Yeah, it is science. She's on Facebook. You ought to check her out, and she's lovely. And I've got the book, and I would highly recommend the book. Minimum of 3 a week, you know, for your skin, for your, you know, just all round health. You know, and obviously your pain. And you don't have to be with a partner to do this. So if you're single, you can still do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. And I absolutely believe that Amanda B, you're saying
Amanda Penn.
No,
oh, Amanda B in the chat. Sorry, I thought you meant.
Yeah, she said hi to me, and I'm just, at first I thought it was my daughter for a second.
No, Amanda's in. We've got a few people in Australia in the chat. Amanda's in Australia.
Oh wow, wow. No, my daughter's name is Amanda. That's why it caught me for a second, and I was like, wait. Anyways, yeah. So basically, you guys, so a good affirmation for that is, you know, you can say things like, I have healthy relationships, I'm creative, I'm active in the world, you know, I'm experiencing this journey of life. I mean, really the bottom line is get out and start enjoying your life, be around people, and all of that will start to clear up. Is because the problem comes from the emotional. And I think that's something that we kind of missed in talking about this, is that the blocks actually come from the emotional issues that you have. And I think the biggest thing that most people don't understand is that chakras are energy portals that stores the emotions that you experience.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the symptoms and the cures, but the biggest thing is you got to think about the emotions that you're experiencing that's creating the problem. So the problem is I have problems with my ovaries, or I have lower back problems, or whatever it is, or I have bladder problems. Okay. And you're like, okay, well, that's associated with the sacral chakra or the root chakra, but you're not thinking about why it happened, the emotions, because the emotions are stored in the chakras. And if you don't believe me, think about this for a second, because we're fixing to go to the solar plex. And the solar plex is about worrying about what other people think about you, worrying about your life and all that kind of stuff. So what happens when you worry? What is the first disease that creeps up? It's like ulcers.
Yeah.
Right? And people that worry have ulcers. So, and then the heart chakra is people that are experiencing breakups and stuff. They always feel that stab in their heart. I mean, so you guys experience physical pain is because the chakra is being blocked by the emotions. So you got to work on the inner self. You got to work on these emotions, and that's how you clear them. That's how you unblock them, is you got to fix the emotional problems.
Well, like you said at the beginning, grief, like a death of a loved one, can be a big one. It's blocking or knocking your chakras out of balance, however you want to word it.
Okay, hold on. I need to address something somebody just said. Trisha Cantrell says empaths can't really enjoy being out and about. Home is safe haven. I totally get what you're saying, Trish. However, I'm an empath. And I mean, and I was that person that couldn't go to parties, because I would experience everybody's emotions at one time. But you can work on that, and you can learn how to center yourself, how to focus in on one thing. There are tools that are out there, and I work with empaths all the time. I know what it feels like, and I'm highly social, and I have a lot of friends, and I do get out and I enjoy my life. But there was a time where I couldn't do it. So don't let the gifts that you have be the blocks that you create. Okay. So anyway, sorry, I had to address that, because I think that's really important, because that's something that I really understand, because I went through that myself. I mean, it got to a point where, I mean, a lot of empaths become hermits because of, you know. Anyway.
Yeah. Somebody's just written something in a foreign language. I have no idea what it says, so I hid it.
Oh, I see Thomas Berman.
It might be something positive, and I apologize, Thomas. It's Swedish, and I apologize if it's positive. I was just being cautious, because I was like, I have no idea what I could say anything. So I do apologize, Thomas.
So anyway, let's go to the solar plex now, I guess.
The solar plexus is, we see it as the yellow color, like the sunshine, and it is below the rib cage and above the navel. And it is classed as a fire element. So this fuller develops in the teenage years. So the chakras sort of develop as we age. So this represents our ego and our personal power. So if your ego is well developed, we have a strong sense of who we are, and we tend to have good gut feelings, which we act on. We often say this is our, like, oh, my gut feeling, you know, you can feel it in your solar plexus. So a sign that it's unbalanced is you're very unsure of yourself, unable to make decisions, so you're very indecisive. You quickly look to others for approval. That's a sign of unbalanced solar plexus. You need the opinion of others. You can't sort of, you're not strong in your own opinions, and you're easily manipulated. I often find that my solar plexus starts to churn when I can feel someone's trying to manipulate me. Mm-hmm. So other people may feel that too. So the signs of a balanced solar plexus are, you have a very strong will. You're definite about your ideas and what you want to do and what is right or wrong. So you have a strong sense of right and wrong, a strong sense of self, but you're not rigid about it. So you're flexible. You're not rigid in your thoughts and are willing to listen to others. So a sign that it's imbalanced is you won't listen to others, or you'll be overly like, I can't think for myself. The physical problems that you may have are digestive problems, depression, muscle cramps. Diabetes is actually linked to the solar plexus.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
And that subject's been coming up a lot lately. People are saying they're diabetic. Liver disease, stomach bloating, and what did I put?
Ulcers.
Yeah, ulcers. I think I put, I can't read that. Yeah, ulcers stomach ulcers is a classic one.
You know, this one, the solar plexus is another one that's kind of, close to my heart, I guess you would say, because for a long time in my life, I was that person that worried about what other people think, what other people feel, always a people pleaser, always trying to make everybody happy. And then it came a point in my life where I started realizing that I was juggling making this person happy. And then it made me so unhappy because everybody wanted something different and I couldn't please everybody at the same time, because here's a group of people and everybody wants something different. And if I go this way, this person's going to be mad at me. If I go this way, this person's going to be mad at me. And I started to realize that I couldn't please everybody. And that if they really cared about me, then they wouldn't be so self-absorbed. So I decided that they were going to be upset either way. So I was going to do what pleased me. And stop worrying so much about what everybody else feels. And honestly and truthfully, everybody got over it. And in fact, they respected me more, and my relationships with people are much stronger than, a lot of times if you act like a doormat, you get walked on. And if you're going to behave like a victim, you're going to be treated like a victim. You're going to attack the victimizers. And so, when I learned that lesson and I just said, no, that's not me. I'm not interested in that, but if you like this or you like that, I'll do that. Or no, I'm too tired. I don't feel like doing that today. I stopped running around trying to please everybody and just started working on me. And I found, like I said, I got a lot more respect. People like me a lot more because they don't see me as somebody they're going to walk over or try to control. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so if you just start focusing on loving yourself and stop worrying about pleasing everybody, because you're never going to please everybody. I had somebody tell me something that I thought was really good that relates to the solar plex thing. And it was years ago. And they said, think of life like Baskin Robbins. There's tons of flavors in Baskin Robbins, and everybody goes into Baskin Robbins and nobody's ever going to like the same flavor. But your job isn't to try to be all of the flavors, because you're never going to be able to do that, because you'll never be a good flavor if you're trying to be a mix of all of them. Okay. Your job is to be the very best praline and cream that you can be, or Rocky Road, whatever it is your preference is, right? You've got to be the very best flavor that you can be. So in other words, just be the very best to you. And if you're always trying to please other people, then you're not being your best you. You're being something that somebody else wants you to be. So be the very best version of you, and then that solar plex will open up and clear up, and all your ulcers and your stomach problems and your digestive problems will all start going away.
Yeah. My grandmother, she got one at about 80, or it was known that she may have had it longer. But I can imagine she was a worrier. But yeah, her power was very much taken. Her power was very much taken from her, but I can understand why. So yeah, that's how it can manifest. So heart chakra, I can be bacon ice cream. Can I be bacon ice cream? IRX says. Oh, that sounds gross. He's funny too. Him and Anton, yeah, they're funny.
That's
so
funny.
The heart chakra is often seen as pink or green. So signs that this is blocked is grief and sadness, suppressed emotions such as anger, or no emotional response at all. So I used to be a bit like that when I was younger. I just felt like I didn't respond either way. I didn't cry and I didn't get angry. I was just like neutral. So I probably had quite a blocked heart chakra back then. So when it's balanced, you'll be loving, compassionate. You'll understand yourself and others. You'll look forward to each day. Signs of an imbalanced heart chakra: respiratory. This is the physical, respiratory problems. Oh, and when it's balanced, you'll be a very positive person as well. So when it's either blocked or imbalanced, respiratory problems, asthma, lung cancer, bronchitis, heart disease, anxiety and panic is a sign of imbalanced. So when it's balanced, you have more of an inflated idea of your own abilities. You fail to see, hold on a minute, fail to see, these are like when it's imbalanced.
All right. So basically, a heart chakra is the bottom line is that it's about loving yourself and loving others, and
Yeah,
it's about acceptance.
So the heart chakra, when it's imbalanced, you have an inflated idea of your ability. I was thinking that doesn't sound right. So you're overinflated. You fail to see the contributions made by others. So you just won't even see the good in people. You're too fast, too selfish, jealous, and difficult to give and receive. That's the sign of somebody with.
So not very loving.
No, exactly.
So like when you're jealous, when you're angry, when you're putting out hate and all these negative feelings towards somebody else, then that's not a very good heart chakra. Anybody who, we were talking about the third eye and the Kundalini last time that we were doing this. And if you're wanting to go into the higher level chakras, you have to go through the heart first. So for you to be able to open up the third eye, to be able to open up the crown chakra, you have to have an open heart. That means that you've got to forgive yourself, forgive others, love yourself, love others, accept yourself, accept others. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line. And those are, you guys keep on asking, like, how do you stop the blockages? And these are the answers right here. It's the emotional issues that you've got to overcome.
And also Reiki helps, doesn't it? I find with the chakras.
Reiki helps a lot.
Yeah.
Because here's the reason why, is because you're pushing love energy into the body. And so it forces you to vibrate at that frequency. And if you do it frequently, and you're vibrating at that frequency more often than not, you kind of start shifting. Your mindset will shift into that because it's sitting in that frequency long enough to where it starts to experience it, and you kind of just alter. But you've got to do it frequently.
Keep doing it, yeah, frequently.
Right.
I've definitely felt the difference when I've had Reiki sessions done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to myself. So the throat chakra, and interestingly, I'm wearing blue tonight.
Yes, you are. I was going to tell you how pretty you look.
I love this color. It's one of my favorite colors, turquoise.
It looks great on you. It looks really good on you.
So this is ruled by air, blue in color, and when the throat chakra is when it's balanced or spinning, it's however you want to put it, you express yourself easily and freely. You have freedom of expression. Until I've scribbled this. Freedom of expression was okay. So when it gets blocked, is that your freedom of expression was blocked when you were young. You were maybe told to shut up. You weren't allowed to speak. You weren't allowed to talk back to others. You were not allowed to say what you thought. So you had to like stuff it all down. Like when they say children are seen and not heard, that's all throat chakra blockage. You know, it's blocking people's throat chakras. And when I was younger, just to give an example, I'd have my tonsils out when I was 28. And it was a time in my life when I wasn't speaking up how I really felt, and I was really like, you know, getting tonsillitis like every month. So yeah, that was so imbalance.
Let me ask you a question about that. Were you suppressed and being able to speak?
Yeah, because it was in my marriage with somebody who's been violent, and I never really spoke about how I felt.
What about when you were a child?
Oh, I couldn't then. Yeah, I used to get a lot of like earaches, like sinus.
Were you told not to speak? Were you told not to?
Yeah, I'd be told to shut up and, you know, put up and.
Yeah. And so that might have been the reason why you got the tonsillitis, you know. I mean, so that just kind of proves
Well, it started when I was 18, the tonsillitis, but I think I did have ear stuff when I was younger, but I just don't. But it flared up again when I was.
Well, a lot of times if you have stored emotions, and it takes a while for the physical.
Yeah.
To develop. That's why you do have time if you haven't developed ulcers and bladder issues and stomach problems and diabetes and all this other stuff, heart problems. If you haven't developed that, you still have some time. You can get that, you know, get these emotions under control, and then your health issues will be a whole lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because I did read somewhere that your health paradigm is set in the first 8 years of your life. So a lot of stuff that happens in those first 8 years can then manifest as an adult.
Wow. Now that's something I didn't know. I did not know that.
So imbalances in throat chakra, signs are a speech disorder.
It was nice for you to join us. I appreciate it.
Bye, Lavera. Yeah, speech disorder, you're arrogant or too fast when you speak. You know, some people that speak and don't take a breath, they're just like all coming out, and there's no pause. Like, it's like too fast. They don't take a pause. They don't take time to sort of just like for a response or to see what other people are going to say. So they might over-dominate conversations. They force their opinions on other people. It's a sign of imbalanced throat chakra. Yeah, so when you see people that just constantly speak and don't take a breath, that's a sign. When it's balanced, you freely and easily communicate and express yourself to everyone. Your voice will stay strong and you'll express yourself with ease. Physical symptoms of it being imbalanced are asthma, bronchitis, ear infections, lost voice, sore throats, mouth ulcers, thyroid problems, anorexia, and throat cancer.
So, you know, I kind of think that sometimes the throat chakra and the solar plex are kind of connected. Emotional thing. because if you think about it, if you're so worried about what other people think, then you don't speak your voice. And then you know, it kind of, it all kind of runs hand in hand. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times people can develop multiple problems, you know, when they're dealing with specific issues, you know. It's I always like to say that you know, kind of in the order that you're working on, you're talking about these, is kind of work from the bottom up, start mastering these different areas in your life emotionally, and start working your way up on it, you know. It's, you know, because the throat chakra is literally like about not like feeling like you have a voice. It's like, nobody listens to me, so why do I speak? You know,
or you might stutter, things like that.
You feel suppressed. You can't really say how you feel. So it's just all this bent up, you know, emotions of holding on, suppressed emotions that you're not speaking about is, and it doesn't even, and it doesn't have to be bad stuff. I'm not talking about, it could just be, no, I want the sofa put over here, or I like this color, or this is my favorite restaurant. You know what I mean? Just stuff that you normally talk about that you don't feel comfortable like saying, you know, because you're constantly pleasing other people, which goes back to that's why I said it kind of ties in with the solar plex, is because, excuse me, one thing kind of ends up relating to the other.
Yeah, I can, you know, when I listen to this, I can see different parts of my life, and I'm sure you can, where, you know, it's been out of balance when, you know, but, you know, you can get that back into balance. So the third eye chakra is, it's an indigo in color. It's, right, what have we got? I'm so sorry.
What?
I'm trying to read my own writing. This is terrible, isn't it? So intellect and sound, a psychic aspect of yourself, and regulates your lower chakras. So your third eye apparently regulates your lower chakras. I think I'm probably, am I reading this back to front? You have to excuse me because I wrote this like 2 weeks ago.
So you're on the third eye, right?
Yeah, I'm on the third eye, but
Okay, so your third eye is about your this is also a lot about creativity, but when I think of creativity, I think of it differently than the type of creativity that's in the sacral chakra. I'm thinking of it more like painting and exploring, like you know, envisioning, yeah, imagining, like stepping outside of the little crystal ball that you live in, and see the reason, like a lot of people say, well, I'm just not a creative person. Well, if you say something like that, that probably means that your third eye's blocked.
Yeah.
Because everybody has the potential to be creative in some way. You've got to have ideas and thoughts, and it doesn't mean that you may not be good at decorating, but the only reason people are not good at something is because they don't do it enough. If you do something enough and you learn about it and you sit there and watch the HG channel, you're going to be better at decorating. And
practice.
Yeah, practice makes perfect for everything. So the thing is that, you know, with the third eye, it's really about exploring and opening up your mind to new ideas, new possibilities, new thoughts. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on right now in the world, and exploring what's happening right now with our world, you know, and with the solar system, this galaxy, with everything that's happening right now, opening your mind up to everything. And when you start allowing that to open up, then, and don't be so closed-minded. Oh, people that are closed-minded get a lot of headaches. You know, if you get a lot of headaches, it's probably because you're very rigid about your thoughts, and you're just very narrow, and you're living in a very like narrow-minded way of thinking, you know.
And that goes up because, yeah, I'd written it slightly different. The physical effects, going a segue from what you just said, is headaches. I don't get that many headaches anymore, but sometimes recently I've been getting it over my right eye but I used to get them when I lived still with my parents. I was getting them I was getting migraines like nearly lasting a week. Like I was getting them all the time. Hard to get headaches now. So headaches is a sign of your third eye chakra is blocked or imbalanced. Blurred vision, nightmares. So if you're having bad dreams all the time, poor concentration, irrational and irritable, mental health issues. You feel disconnected from the world and unable to make simple, clear decisions. So this chakra flows best when you're most creative and you'll look at the world in a positive way, I want to say. Solution to problems easily. You'll find solutions to problems easily, and life will be easy for you when it's, balanced. Other things.
So just kind of talk about that for a second. Some people focus too much on the problem instead of on the solution. And another way to help with opening up your third eye is to focus on how do you find an answer instead of focusing. I don't have a problem with my clients telling me what their problems are. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. Let's get to the bottom of it. But then let's not dwell on it. Now let's start working on fixing the problem. And so I teach problem solving. And I always tell people, get outside of saying the word I can't and say I choose not to, and then see what that makes you. Or instead of saying, why can't I? Why don't you start saying, how can I? So a lot of times saying, I can't, or why can't I fix this? You're trapping yourself and you're blocking. You're staying in a very narrow, you're like in a fishbowl. Okay. And you're causing yourself to not be able to see past the, what's inside that little fishbowl. But if you start exploring outside, you start opening up your mind and you start using terminologies like, how can I? And if you use how can I, then your mind starts to open up that third eye and it starts giving you answers. I do an exercise with some of my clients on that particular thing. Like I'll say, tell me something that you feel like, I don't know why I can't do this, da, da, da. And then I say, how can I? And then they automatically come up with their own answers when before they felt like they were totally blocked.
Yeah. So a few of the things is poor eyesight, OCD, dyslexia is linked to a blocked third eye, apparently, and poor concentration. So yeah, that affects quite a lot of things, actually.
Affirmations are extremely important, how we talk to ourselves. But here's the thing I want to tell you, Laura, about affirmations. Here's the biggest problem that a lot of people do is they'll just sit there and they'll say, I am happy, I am happy, I am happy, I am happy, I am happy. I mean, really?
And they don't believe it.
You don't believe it. If you're going to do an affirmation, you need to escalate your voice and you need to be convincing, because you need to convince yourself that you're happy. So you need to be saying it like this. You need to be like, I'm happy. I'm happy. And you're like, so one of my clients they absolutely get so mad at me because I make them do that. And I'll no, I don't believe you. And so they raise the voice again. And I go, no, I still don't believe you. You have not convinced me.
Yeah, you got to really say it with conviction.
Yeah, you got to say it with conviction. And then when you start saying those affirmations with conviction, then that's when your mind starts to believe you. Okay?
When I've said the things out loud, like, I really want to work with this person, or it could be short and sweet, but it's said with passion, they're the things that manifest for me the quickest and easiest.
Well, that's because manifestation is fueled by emotions.
And it was no fluffy woo-woo, long, drawn-out things. It was seconds, and they're the things that happened the quickest.
Right.
For me, anyway. So, okay. So the crown chakra to end on, which I also got a list of crystals, and if we want to get into this, and possible, crystals and oils that are linked to each chakra as well at the end.
Wow, okay.
So the crown chakra is often white or violet in color. It's the top of your head, develops intuition and brings out your creative side. And the crown chakra develops as an adult. Yeah, I thought this is something else. And I was like reading donut. I'm like, I was like, donut, really? No, it develops as you're an adult, so it's not fully developed. And the Dr. Shayla I had on earlier, if you missed that interview, she said that the brain doesn't stop developing to your age 25.
Stop developing or start developing?
It doesn't stop sort of your... I think your brain or something like this doesn't stop till you're about 25. Your personality, you know, when you get to the age of 25, so you think you're fully developed, maybe at 18 when you're not. So, hi, Suzanne. So, signs it's imbalanced are you're too focused on material goods. You're seeking more possessions in life, focusing on facts rather than feelings. Your connection to the divine and the collective consciousness isn't, you know, it's basically not there.
Absolutely. So the way that I understand it is it's will and power associated with this. It's your direct connection with God. The guidance that comes.
Yeah, it seems so, because like blockages lead to joyless existence if it's blocked. The world, your decisions are based on ration alone. Decisions are not on gut instincts. They're from, you know, you're not going on your gut instincts. That's a sign of it being blocked.
Well, but if you think about that, okay, because so everybody understands what she's saying is when you are not, instincts are listening, that's like listening to your higher self. And your higher self is your connection to God. So like the crown chakra, opening up your crown chakra is the portal to the divine. Okay, if you want that connection to God or whatever you call it, divine, Allah, Buddha, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Whatever it is that you call your person,
source,
whatever source, you know, the universe. If you want that connection, you need to focus on opening that, and that a lot of that, again, you guys gotta work on, you gotta love yourself. You've got to feel confident in speaking your voice. You've got to be able to open yourself up to new ideas, and instead of being closed-minded, I mean, it all kind of filters up, you know, working on each one at a time. Don't go trying to open up your crown chakra if you haven't done work on your heart chakra. Right? And that crown chakra is like, it's that connection. I mean, the crown chakra is linked to astral projection and, you know, all the cool things that you can do when you get into that state. It's intuition. It's your abilities like telekinetic, telekinesis, you know, all the tellas. And so, yeah, I mean, that's, you know what I'm saying?
So I was just going to say, signs of a balanced crown chakra are a sense of wonder in the world, your desire to experience new things and take on new challenges, and you're willing to learn every day. It's like you're just open to new possibilities and new challenges, and you just feel, you know, you're not having this closed-minded, literal view on the world. Seems there's less physical symptoms of the crown chakra. It's more the third eye that gives more physical symptoms.
Absolutely. It's let me see something real quick, and let's see, because I pulled up something here.
Oh yeah, here we go. Sorry, yeah, depression, skin conditions such as eczema and dermatitis, and light and sound sensitivity are signs of a blocked crown chakra.
Muscular system disorders. That's interesting. Nervous system disorders, brain tumors.
So yeah, there was some physical ones, but not so many. It was more depression, muscular diseases, eczema and dermatitis, which I know they're also linked to the liver, but light and sound sensitivity. That's interesting because I get that sometimes.
Well, that's interesting.
My eyes get very sensitive to certain lights. So,
yeah, so basically the way to kind of to work on that, honestly, I really think that meditation is the answer.
I was just going to say the exact same thing. Meditation, yeah.
I think that you know, like I said, it all kind of works its way up. You've got to work on one at a time. And if you just start going for the heart chakra and then the throat chakra, or you just start hair and work your way up, you're going to find that it's just going to be too impossible. That's like people saying, I can't meditate, I think that I kind of start with, yeah, go ahead. You got to start with some of the basics here, start with the simplest things that you start with, the emotional issues that you're dealing with, and start working on self-care. And if you don't have somebody to work with, Trisha and I, that's what we do. And, that is my full-time job, is helping people overcome depression, anxiety, emotional disorders, any kind of thing that goes on. That's what I do. So if you need help with that particular thing, contact one of us, and that's what we're here for, is to help you guys.
Apparently Melodize Life said, because I'm Rh negative blood, is often light sensitivity is common with Rh negative blood people. So that's interesting. I wonder if other people have that are Rh negative. And I know my son does as well.
I didn't know that, huh?
I don't know if that's come on. Okay. Come on.
Are you grabbing your cat?
Yes, sorry.
That's okay.
Not very professional, but
Anton, first off, I live in Houston, and if you want to be my receptionist, you're going to have to work as an intern, because everything's volunteer work.
It probably volunteers. I apologize, I had to let the cat in because she can't get back in, and she's on the front, and I could hear people. It was raining, and people are like being a bit rowdy out there, and I didn't want it to come through on here, and then she can't get back in.
So big P99, if your crown chakra opened up, it's probably because you've done all the other work. The inner work is really, really important. And you're going to work remotely for me for free?
He's flirting.
Is he flirting? Is that what he's doing?
I think he is. Yeah, I've got really pale bluey grey eyes, so I always thought it was to do with that, but the Rh negative may be part of it as well. I'm not sure.
I don't know. There's a lot of talk about the whole Rh negative thing, and I was actually talking to somebody about that, and with lack of knowledge and not knowing exactly what I was saying, and I happened to say something about it being alien DNA and people that have that, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I was just mouthing off because I was with family and I was just being silly.
But I'm Rh negative, and I just, whatever it is, I'm not really going to make a big thing, one way or another, what Rh negative is. It is what it is.
My stepmom actually said, well, I'm Rh negative, and blah, 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 and this has never happened to me. And I was just like, I was like, whoop, I realized that just because you're Rh negative doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be psychic, have abilities, working on some sort of life path thing. It doesn't necessarily mean the all end all. Just because you're blonde doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be racist. You know, you see what I'm saying? The RH negative is, it might be a symptom or something that it's kind of came up, but I don't really know enough about it to be able to.
Me neither, and I am RH negative, but I've noticed a lot of people on YouTube seem to make a big thing, and a lot of lives or recordings about RH negative blood, I've noticed.
Well, I know, like when you watch Rex, he always asks people, he's like, just out of curiosity, are you RH negative? You know, because he thinks that anybody who has psychic abilities is going to be RH negative.
They say that, but who knows?
I don't know. Like I said, my stepmom is not. She's RH negative, and she's just normal lady.
Yeah.
You know.
So I don't know if anybody's interested in sort of crystals and oils that are linked. That now I want to say, when it comes to oils, be mindful, because obviously you've got to be careful with using essential oils. And if these crystals don't, if you're not drawn to them, if you're wanting to balance out certain chakras, then don't go with what. These are just some examples. Like a lot of people say rose quartz for the heart chakra. I actually don't like rose quartz. Believe it or not, a lot of people, I don't like rose quartz, no. I'd prefer something different. It just never has appealed to me.
When I'm doing crystal work on somebody, I always use the color of the chakras.
Yeah, well, they say for the heart you can use like green or pink, but I actually don't like rose quartz at all. I'm not a lover of it. I prefer different pink crystals. I like rhodochrosite.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just an example.
Yeah, but rose quartz is supposed to carry a love vibration. I think that's why they're choosing that.
Yeah, but it's not going to be for everybody, is it? Because I have an aversion to it.
No, you know, in fact, I'm a huge fan of, one of my favorite stones is labradorite.
Yeah.
I just absolutely love labradorite. So I have some really good sized labradorite stones, and when I'm working with people and I'm doing like crystal work, I usually put that's what I do, is I put labradorite on the heart. And however, if I do feel that a person is really struggling in that area, I will like send them home with a rose quartz and tell them to, you know, like try to find a necklace that falls like right about in that area, and, you know, and just wear it as often as they can.
So I'm just going to give you some examples. These are not set in stone because there's probably many other options. So for root chakra, some examples are ruby, jasper, and black pepper as an essential oil. So for the sacral chakra, moonstone or amber and clary sage is a great one for the sacral chakra. These are just examples, so there's going to be many others, just as a disclaimer. Solar plexus, topaz, and citrine. Now, I love citrine. That is one of my favorites. And you can use basil or mandarin oil.
Wait. So you said citrine for what? The
solar plexus.
Yeah.
I love citrine. That is one of my favorites.
Hey, I need to interrupt for a second. There's a lot of chat going on about the likes in the room, and you guys, basically what we did was we turned off. Everybody's like,
it won't tell you the number.
Yeah, it's not going to tell you the numbers because we turn that off so that people don't get like their rocks off for seeing how many dislikes and stuff like that. So
somebody was getting their rocks off of like 5 or 6 dislikes within seconds of me putting a video up. And normally it won't say like or dislike. It'll just thumbs up, thumbs down, and a number. So if you'll see it says like or dislike, there'll be no numbers there. I've done it for a reason, because people were getting off on thinking they were being big, putting loads of dislikes. So that is the reason why I've done it. And it is an option you can choose on YouTube.
Yeah. So that's basically it. You know, just keep on hitting the like button, you guys.
Yeah, you can still hit the like button, but it wouldn't normally say like or dislike. It's a psychological thing, Anton. They won't be getting off because they won't be able to see how many there are. That's why I've done it.
Well, Anton, it like like she said, you know, if somebody's getting off to something, you take the thing that they're getting
I'm
off.
taking the power away from them by getting off on it, so I'm not bothered. So
yeah.
anyway,
exactly. Yeah, that's the bottom
I'm
line.
taking their power away from them getting off on it. Whoever's, and apparently I've looked at the statistics. It's actually somebody or people in America, because you can't see who exactly, but you can fine tune it to the country. And it's actually mainly America. It's not the UK like I thought it might be. It's actually America. So it's certain individuals in America. It's probably one person. So
well, that's what there's a couple of people that we know that actually have multiple accounts and
yeah,
log in, log out of each one, and just trolls. But basically, we're just sending them love. And we're taking their power away.
Yeah, we're taking the power away. Now they won't be able to see how many numbers that they've hit. So that's the reason. And you'll see that on most of my videos now. Yeah, denying them from becoming He-Man and She-Ra.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, you won't see any numbers on that one. But
she is. I'm not. I'm Houston, Texas.
I'm in the UK. Yeah, for now. I don't think we're staying in the UK, but for now, I'm in the UK. So,
all right.
Where do we get to? So yeah, so topaz or citrine for the solar plexus, basil or mandarin is a good one. The heart chakra, rose quartz or green jade. I do like green jade.
Yes.
And frankincense, and I like frankincense. So it's just rose quartz. I've been averse to it for years. I don't know why. There is a reason, but I'm not conscious of it. So the throat chakra, aquamarine and lapis lazuli. And I love like aquamarine and turquoisey colors personally. So the oils are chamomile or sandalwood. Third eye, indigo, sapphire, turquoise, and oils are hyacinth and angelica seed. And finally, the crown chakra, clear quartz or amethyst. And the oils are vetiver or frankincense. They're just some examples. Obviously, there are many more. And I would always say, go on your intuition if it doesn't feel right. Because when you have Reiki done, some of them do put crystals on you, don't they?
Yeah, I do.
And they won't necessarily use the bog standard ones. They might go for something they feel is more suited to you. Like, I love tiger's eye. That's another one I love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't remember which that's good for, but I love tiger's eye.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, you guys, these are tools that you can use to help with, you know, I love using crystals because I think that they really do help with emotional things going on in your life. I'm really big on that. And I always, you will always see me wearing a crystal. Like, I have an amethyst that I never take off. I usually have them on my wrist. I usually wear rings. Sometimes I have like a long necklace that I wear that has like several on it. And the reason I do this, I usually have like, say I have crystal earrings. I do this because I'm around so many people all the time. And so crystals will also help absorb the negative energy that people put off. And I'm not saying that it's going to be the all-in cure-all and people are going to stop like being haters when they're around you. But I get a lot of people that have a lot of emotional issues going on. So instead of, you know, the crystals kind of act like a deflector. And so it helps with me being able to stay, you know, keeping my meridian field solid and not being, you know, I think people were asking about, when I was talking about meridian fields, I think, was it the show that I did last week about myself? Was it? I don't remember. Anyway, I was talking about meridian fields, and people were asking me, how do you repair the holes and how do you keep from getting holes? And I think that wearing crystals, wearing crystals helps a whole lot because it keeps that energy that's coming towards you. It just kind of creates like a buffer and it bounces off.
My friend who does angelic Reiki, and I'm going to try and I've interviewed her on the radio. I'm going to try and get her on the channel if she's available. She was telling me, like, when my father passed, to like pre-warn me, like, or grief punches holes in your aura.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we can get the holes. Then it's like to help, you know, and she does angelic Reiki, as she calls it, but I'm going to try and get her on the channel at some point. But a good example was I used to wear, you know, the mala beads that you were talking about earlier, the 108. There's a reason why they choose 108 mantras as well, don't they? The times. I can't remember the science behind it or the reason, but they do say 108, there's a reason. I used to wear obsidian mala beads as a bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this male client once who I was surprised he booked a reading, and he just was grilling me about me and what I shouldn't be doing in my business. And I was like, whoa. And as I was doing the reading, the bead shattered. The bracelet shattered. There was 108 obsidian little mala beads on this, and they just were everywhere during the reading.
Well, that means the energy. That means that the energy that was directed towards you was pretty strong.
Oh, his energy was toxic, and it just shattered off my wrist. And I loved that because it was actually a necklace, but I wore it as a bracelet, and I really loved it, and it just shattered everywhere.
You know, there was a point in time where I was studying magic, and I had a group of people, and we were all sort of like studying it together. So we decided we were going to like make a magical bracelet. We never really got very far into it, but
I'm studying chaos magic at the minute.
Yeah, it was chaos magic, actually. That's what it was. And but anyways, we started making these magical bracelets. Okay. And so the point is that you were supposed to have a specific bead that represented a specific color, that represented a specific thing that, and it's been a little while since I've done it, so I don't remember, but it all had to do with all these different levels of things that you were supposed to do. And we were anchoring different deities to each one as well. And anyways, so we kind of took a little vow that we would wear the bracelet all the time. And this was going to be kind of our connection to each other as well. And one of the girls got into a car accident, and she said that when the car hit her, she said she didn't hit anything. Her hands were on the steering wheel. But as soon as that car impacted her, she said the beads just shattered. And she was absolutely convinced that it absorbed the energy, and that's why, it was just a lot, and it took the weight, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I've been gifted by people I knew these like crystal bracelets with all different colors. They're beautiful, like all different colors of different stones. And I'd be hanging the washing out, and just every now and again, they just all shatter. And they said it had done their job, like the reason it had shattered, like broken, and they went everywhere was because they'd done their job protecting me or doing whatever they were doing.
I actually agree with that.
Yeah.
And, because I think that that's true. I've heard that actually even with, and I don't know if I can remember exactly, hematite.
Hematite, yeah.
Yeah, so hematite is
it's like a magnetic one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like, and they say that when it breaks, that means that it's done its job.
Mm.
A wishing stone. They're supposed to, like, when you get a hematite ring, you're supposed to wish on it. And yeah,
that one helps cleanse your blood, apparently, hematite.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then once your wish has either been rejected or will come true, one of the two, when it's been answered via a yes or no, that's when it breaks. The answer will come when it breaks. That's when the answer comes to you. Anyway, it's just interesting.
Because I've got turquoise and aquamarine, like chunky crystal bracelets, but I don't wear them all the time. I like wear them every now and again when I just feel. I don't actually wear a lot of jewelry at the moment. I just when I feel guided to. It's interesting. Actually,
I've been thinking about getting those bracelets that Jeff sells.
Oh, I forget what it's called now.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called either.
I've heard it so many times, and I can't think.
I know, so have I. Yeah.
I'm curious, is there anybody in the chat that has got them, and are they working for you?
I want the necklace that Sandra D has. Have you seen that?
No, is that part of the...
what, next time you go watch her video, she always wears it. It's really pretty. And it's one of those.
I've heard it so many times, and I can't remember the name of the. Has anybody in the chat? Mystek, that's it. Thank you, Ellie Mac. Mystek.
Yeah. Has anybody tried it?
Has anybody tried them? I mean, I've heard good things, but I've just not tried them myself.
So I guess my question is that I was trying to figure out, like, what's the difference between a Mystek, you know, because it's like he says that they take the crystals and they do they infuse them vibration, and so I was like, well, how do you do that? I mean, I posted on his thing, like, how do you do that? And he said it with a machine, and I'm not really sure how do you infuse a vibration into a crystal? I'm still not understanding that. And
I know another company that does something similar. I've bought things from. The name's going to evade me now. I've known of for a long time. Ellie Mac says she uses them. She has the basic bands, and she says yes, they've worked for her.
Okay.
Oh, there's another company, Caitlin or Kate or something her name is. Oh, it's going to bug me now. They infuse crystals. They'll have mouse mats or mats that you can, and it's infused with crystals or in drinks bottles, but it's like crushed. It's really.
I know that's actually really cool. You know, I used to. I mean,
can't remember the name of the company now.
I was really big into magnet therapy for a really long time, and I would literally like take a magnet and I would put it under my glass and let my glass of water like be charged with the magnets. Yeah, and so there was I had bought a pad that had like, it was crystal and magnet infused pad, so it's like a little, you know, round pad.
Yeah, so it's called something Vibes, and they'd have drinks coasters where you'd put your drink on it and it would charge. It's going to bug me. She's on my Facebook and I can't even think of the name because I haven't sort of noticed for a while. Hi, JH. I plan to get the bead bracelet. I don't know what stone. You're giving me insight with the chakra class. Okay. Yeah, because they've got some bracelets.
I'm glad that you guys like that. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, I think that I really believe in the crystals. I'm going to tell you why I believe in the crystals. Okay. So I have a very agnostic belief system towards most things. Okay. So I'm extremely open-minded, and I don't say, no, this isn't true, until I personally have experienced it. Okay. And I'm not going to say, no, it's not true either. You know, I'm real like open to things. Like, even if I'm not sure that I really like the idea of something, and it's more about me not liking the idea of something, or if I'm challenged by it because I don't understand it, that doesn't mean that I say I don't believe it. So anyway, so I have a real agnostic approach towards everything. So when it came to crystals, I wanted to believe in the crystals. I liked the idea of the crystals, but I had no proof. And one day I used to wear like this really long necklace that had like 4 or 5 different crystals, and all of them were gifts that were given to me. And that's the only reason I wore so many. It wasn't because, oh, this, you know, this one does this one. It's because I liked them and they were given to me. So anyways, I wore it on like a long necklace. Well, I went over to my sister's house and we were going to lay at the pool. So I took the necklace off when it got into the bathing suit. And when I got dressed and everything, after I was finished, I totally forgot and left the beads there. And I went to work the next day, and it was like 2 weeks before I could get back over to my sister's house. And I started getting the absolute worst pain in my shoulder. I mean, it was horrible. I had to actually go, and I mean, I couldn't even sleep. It was that bad. So I actually called a massage therapist, and he was like very, very spiritual. And he said, Michelle, I have a question for you. Why are you not wearing crystals with all the people that you're around all the time? And I was like, I always wear crystals, but I left it over my sister's house. And it was so funny because it was like, right after he said this, I drove all the way to my sister's house, picked up my crystals, and I'm telling you, like, the pain went away. And so when I say that I believe in something, it's because I personally experienced it.
Yeah.
And I'm very aware that this thing does this. So I'm going to literally like preach it to the choir kind of thing, literally, because I've experienced it. It may sound hokey, but there's a lot of science to it. And
well, the crystals in watches, there's a reason why if you have,
I'm just not sure that I understand the technology behind the Mystic bracelets. Now, I believe it works, or I want to believe it works, but I've never experienced that myself.
Well, JH, she says she has 3 Mystic bracelets and they are amazing.
Okay, so, but I'm still trying to figure out, how do you put a frequency into a crystal? Because a frequency is something that has to be played. So is the guy that that creates them, does he not have a website explaining? I don't know. I don't know that I've actually gone into that much depth to look into it. But I think
he did come on, didn't he, ages and ages ago, and explained it all, but I can't remember the full ins and outs.
Yeah, absolutely. So Robin says that she can't wear watches, that she drains the batteries. It's really funny that you say that, because my sister and I, for years, we couldn't, it was like, I wanted to wear crystals, but I couldn't, because they would end up breaking on me. And so it was like, and watches were doing that to me. Anything that had any kind of metal would like start softening. Microwaves, all kinds of stuff, coffee pots, anything that was mechanical, that kind of stuff. But here's the interesting thing was, I finally found a crystal, which is the one I don't ever take off, and it's wrapped like this, so it's enclosed, so it's not going to soften and then fall off. And then also started wearing like bracelets and rings and stuff like that. So I found ways to be able to keep it on. By keeping it on, I found that I stopped breaking watches. I stopped breaking mechanical things. Because I would literally, like, people would say, "Oh my God, every time you walk in a room, something breaks." It was just that. So I know what you're talking about, Robin. But try to find something that's enclosed, some crystals that's enclosed, and that might help you with some of the watch issues and other mechanical things.
Apparently, Ali Mac says it's on the website and on YouTube about the Mystic and how it's all done. So,
okay,
Halo has a video on it. I think Halo's the guy that creates them. Yeah. And Angel Moon 4217 says, what crystal would you use for severe lower back pain, older person? Well, I guess if it's going to be something red, I would imagine, but this is where crystals, I feel it's an individual, like one size isn't going to fit all, is it? Like, not every red crystal is going to be right for every person.
So a lot of times lower back pain has to do with not being supported.
The root chakra stuff.
Yeah, it's a root chakra thing. It's the grounding, not feeling supported. And a lot of times when you're older like that, it's whether or not you've worked through that issue, the problems have already set in. So my suggestion is that you actually start trying to heal the body through different forms. Like, I personally have used magnet therapy on, so if you know anybody who does magnet therapy that's local, I think that's probably a really good idea. I would also go and see if you can find the magnets. Once they do give you the treatment, then go out and find those magnets. They're called biomagnetic therapy, and you can usually find them on like Amazon or something, but you want to know how to do it. So once they've given you a treatment and you see like which direction, how they place them, where they place them, and that kind of stuff, then you can go out and buy them yourself and just get a big old piece of tape and hold it and keep it on your back 24/7.
She had 9 babies and hard work. Well, having 9 children would probably affect your back, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And so you just want to heal the problem. The other thing that's going to help with lower back pain is yoga. So do a lot of like floor work yoga, do baby pose. That is like when, you know, if I start having lower back pains from overworking and stuff like that, I'll like lay on the floor and I'll get into baby pose. I don't know if you know what that means. But
that child pose?
Yeah, child pose.
Same name, where you're on the floor and you,
You put your knees all the way up and then you grab your feet.
And you put your head forward to the floor. So yeah, that's a really good one to stretch everything. Yeah.
It really does help. Another thing you can do is just literally like bend over, spread your legs out, like open them up and then bend over and then just really like drop and just a lot. Like I usually even cross my arms like this and drop instead of trying to touch the ground, because sometimes you just letting that weight just fall like that and not stopping it with your hands can actually create a better stretch. So
you can get blocks also to lean on if you're not that flexible in yoga, to like, or you could use something as an example, an alternative.
I would suggest, if you're, since this is for a senior citizen, I don't know if it's you.
I don't know what age, but she said she's older.
I don't know if it's for you or if it's for somebody else, but I would suggest finding like a Y or something that that does like senior citizen type yoga, and they'll manage it based on that age range.
Yeah, depends on you.
But and then also too, I like taking classes. What she said.
They seem very flexible. I can touch the floor standing and touch my nose on the floor.
Oh wow. Okay, well we need to figure out some other kind of stretchings for you.
It's me and I am limber.
Try the magnet therapy. And also too, you might want to try acupuncture. Both of those two things might help a lot. Acupuncture helped a lot for me.
Lord Will Chosen One. We do this show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central. Michelle and I together, this is every Wednesday, but we do our own thing at different other times. I don't have set, I just have guests on when I can book them in whenever. I don't, this is the only show, or not show, but live I do with Michelle that's a set time and day every week. It varies. But I have started doing Facebook Lives with my son. And we went live on Saturday, and we're going to do it again on Saturday.
How did I miss that? I didn't even miss that.
We're going to do it this Saturday as well because he's free. It was hilarious.
It was. I bet. I'm going to have to go back and look at that.
Yeah. Just to balance out, because a lot of people wondered where I'd gone off Facebook. So yeah, we had a good response. So for this show, it's every Wednesday for this live, and next week will be on Michelle's channel because we're alternating it to make it fair and balance out and help Michelle grow her channel.
Yeah, you guys, so make sure you subscribe to my channel so you get the notifications.
And it should be in the description, or Michelle, let me just double check. And if it isn't, then I will put it in straight. I think Laura did post your YouTube channel.
Did she?
Earlier on. I don't know if she can post it again if she doesn't mind, if she's got it handy.
Yeah, actually.
Did I put it in the description? If it's not in the description, it will be afterwards. I usually put everything in beforehand. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Laura. She's put your YouTube channel.
Oh, she did? Okay. Awesome.
In the comments. I'm going to be away. Yes. Have a great time, JH, on the 11th. There you go. When you go to bed, put a pillow in between your knees. Yeah, that can help. If you lie on your side, put a pillow in between your knees, because clamping your knees together can cause back problems. That's something I've learned.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, so there's lots of things that you can do physically that can help. So, you know, that's what I suggest that you do for
and swimming's another great one for all round. You know, especially if you have a lot of pain.
Absolutely. Any kind of movement, walking, you know, walking helps a lot. I can tell you right now that when I'm active and I'm moving around and I'm exercising on a regular basis, I have very little pain, except for the soreness I get from over exercising. But when I stop exercising, that's when I start getting all the cramps. It's like I feel like I need to be oiled or something. It's like, you know, it's like, and it's that movement, that circulation needs to be, you know, happening on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Anton.
I was just thinking exactly what Anton has put. He must have read. It is, well, that's what I said earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. If you're in a safe, healthy, I have no back pain at all when I'm in a healthy, safe relationship, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking he's read my mind. I was just thinking the same thing.
That's so funny. Exercise.
Okay. And they say it's equivalent to yoga. I was only saying that to YRX earlier, that it can be equivalent to doing yoga.
Well, I guess it depends on how you do it.
Well, I know my secrets are now, aren't I?
I know. I think so.
But I'm just sharing what's good for you, you know. Oh, I'm going hot now.
I know, you're turning red.
It's a sunburn, really. I'm not red.
Oh, you got some sun. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, we've had 30 degrees. Most of this is suntan. This is not makeup.
Really?
My face, yeah, you can see compared to my neck that I'm not. This is suntan.
Wow. Well, you look great.
We've been having like 30 degrees now. For us, that's hot, centigrade. Like, I know you get it probably hotter. And I just go and sit out on the decking for sometimes only 10 minutes a day. And it's, yeah.
You know, we have humidity in Houston. So the humidity factor actually raises the heat index. So it's to the point where, I mean, I used to be like a little sun goddess, and I can't.
I must admit, yeah, I stopped singing. They're all making me blush even more now. They all said you're blushing, really. Yeah, it's making me hot.
Anton saying that we're making him feel hot.
No, so it's making me hot because I'm talking about.
Sex talk is making you feel hot. Yes, yes. Oh, sorry.
I'm shy, really, in public.
You're doing a really good job at expressing yourself. Your throat chakra is open.
It's more open because I wouldn't have talked about this sort of thing years ago. No way.
See you guys, y'all catching on. You understand? It's so funny. Yeah. All right. So I think this has been a good informative thing. And you guys, if you have any suggestions, topics that you're interested in us talking about, information that you want to learn more about, I've got like a list of like 20 zillion things.
Yeah, Michelle's got a great list written, so we've got plenty of material to go on. But if there's anything you are specifically...
Yeah, I'm going to kind of go over this list. And if anybody like has a specific thing that you want to...
JH got a sunburn through the car window. Wow, yeah. Trisha knows that my throat chakra is 1,000%. His throat chakra, he has no trouble expressing himself.
Not at all. It doesn't seem like... Okay, here, let me go over this list here that I have. So some of this stuff is going to have to do with me being a life coach, but I think that emotional issues help you become more spiritual if you get past them. Because as we were talking about this, you're trying to open up these chakras. You can't open up your third eye and your crown chakra if you don't have all the other ones open. So that's why some of these issues are really important. So being a victim and defeating it, defeating fear, treasure your divinity, change your mindset, don't dim your light, don't let the music inside of you die, letting go of resentment. Oh, I did that one last week. Seek and you will find, changing perceptions, changing expectations. Don't take ownership of your diagnosis. Fault and responsibility don't go together. Heal your mind. Shadow work. Oh, you know what? Shadow work's a good one.
You know, maybe perhaps do that next week if you want.
Yeah, shadow work's actually a really good topic. How to talk to your pain. So anyway, so that's just some of the ones. And then of course, you know, the other ones that we've already done. So yeah, if you guys, if you have any suggestions, yeah, shadow work is actually a really good subject. But you guys, this is for you. So if there's anything that you guys really would like us to help you with, you know, this is about your spiritual evolution. This is about helping you evolve spiritually, grow spiritually. I mean, there's so much talk out there about what not to do. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much talk about what not to do. Oh, you're doing this
BS out there. Sorry.
Yeah.
My throat chakra. There's so much BS out there. I'm sorry.
Yes, there is. But that, you know, it's like, this is wrong and this is wrong and this is wrong and don't do it like this and da da da. But I mean, how much is actually being taught, like actually teaching you? And then if you, and those things where you're trying to learn end up costing you a lot of money. Okay. So, I mean, you end up going to a weekend course and you're paying $500 or $600 when you can just come and hang out with us for an hour and it's free.
I learn a lot of it for free.
Yeah.
Someone said, I need a USB fan. Guess what I've got at hand?
Wait, is that a USB fan?
Yeah, it's got a USB.
Oh, that's crazy. That is.
I should have put it on.
That is funny. Okay, so Shannon said, what is shadow work? Okay. So
probably more your expertise than mine.
Yeah, so shadow work is basically going into your subconscious mind and really identifying and talking to and really exploring the reasons why things are there inside of you and working through it. I highly suggest that you Google it and look into it a little bit more because I'm giving you a very, very short version of it because I think that this is such a great subject that we could make a whole show out of it. And so what I would do is I Google it a little bit and then just show up and you're going to learn a lot.
Yeah.
So
I always say, be careful when you do Google though, because not everything out there is, if it feels wrong, then it probably is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. You need to be, happy about what it is that you're experiencing. And anyways, and so we're basically here to help you if you need one-on-one work. Our contact information is in the description, and basically that's it. My email address is in there, my website address is on there. Basically, I think that's it. You have anything else that you want to?
I'm just reading. Anderson says, why not do a 3-hour show on a Sunday? I don't know why he's saying that. On a Sunday? What for?
I have stuff to do on Sundays.
What was that? What did you say?
Me?
Yeah, what did you just say then on Sunday?
Like do a 3-hour show on Sundays, and I said I have things to do on Sundays.
Yeah, I don't know what he means by a 3-hour show or who is, but I just want to recap, like I said at the beginning, all my services are buy one get one free this month. So if you've been after that numerology profile and you and your friend want one, then you can split the cost, or you can pay the full price and gift one to a family member, whoever. So that's just for the month of August, so it won't be available in September.
So you guys, I actually had a numerology reading from her, and this was the most in-depth, interesting thing I've ever read. And it was so like, I've actually paid for numerology readings and didn't get this good of a job. And I actually did trade with her. So I was so floored by the fact that this was really good. I mean, it was really, really good. So if you're interested in doing that, it really helps you understand who you are and where you're at this point, because she like broke down the months of this year. She was like, in August this, and this time this, and this time that. And I was thinking, wow, I mean, this is like helping you with making some decisions, you know, like, okay, this is a good month to move, or this is a good month to invest, or this is a good month to have a conversation with somebody. Oh, I had a hiccup, sorry.
Does she? Well, like before we came live, my son's got his friends staying over, and they've been friends since, well, about 14. And she's a master number 33, and she's got a master number 22 birthday. Like, and we were just, I've sent her the full profile, but we were sort of skimming through it, and she was like, and she's studying to be like a counselor, a nurse, everything that was, and she was sat there with her mouth open. She was like, that is so me. Like, and what she was doing is, and she's still only 19. She's well on her path. She's got some like amazing numbers in her chart, and she's a twin as well. So, but she's very open to it, and yeah. So hopefully it'll help her.
Yeah, I was doing that, and it was actually 30 days, but somehow or another Facebook actually erased some of the videos. I'm not really sure why, but I did spirituality. Some of them I've uploaded on my YouTube channel, not all of them. It takes a long time to upload, and it's like it takes a long time to download, and it takes a long time to upload. So some of it's on there, some of it isn't. But yeah. I'm going to actually revisit that and do it on YouTube.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah.
All over again, because that would commit me to actually doing it daily.
And Michelle did some, or we haven't finished it, some it's reframing, isn't it, work that you were doing with me. And yeah, it really gets you really thinking. And I had a few ahas today actually on the subject when I was interviewing the other lady about hijackals. Toxic, these toxic people in your life. But yeah, so we haven't finished yet, which there's no pressure on when, but I liked what you do, because it really does, I had without being too open about it, what it is, I had a very fixed view about certain things, and we're trying to reframe it so it's more positive, and it will change what I attract into my life, or the type of people, let's say, without going too personal what it's about. Yeah,
we need to kind of get back on track with that.
Yeah, we will. It's been a busy time, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Well, I've been moving, and
yeah, you've been moving, and I've just had stuff going on, and
I know, I hear you. I mean, I had my mom actually said to me the other day, I miss my daughter. When am I going to see her? And I'm just thinking, oh, when do I have time? It's all going to settle down once this whole move is finished. It's just when you're going through such an extreme move like that.
Moving takes up a lot of your time and stuff. Yeah.
So it's like once it's all done with and everything's done, I'm gonna have it'll be, my time will be more freed up and stuff. But and you and I also have a little bit of a time difference as well.
Yeah. That's all cool in divine timing.
Yeah. Anyways, do you have anything else?
No, I think that's it. I'm done, and it's still on 4 a.m. So.
Oh Lord.
Good time to finish. I was fine tonight. I was energized, but last week, I was obviously processing some stuff.
Well, you need to go to bed.
So remember, next week we're on Michelle's channel. I will advertise it on here, and I will put the link to remind you, but we're on Michelle's channel next week.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you just want to hang on a minute, Michelle, and say good night, God bless everyone, and it's been an amazing turnout tonight. And I hope that helped, you got something from it. I'm sure you all did. So lots of love until next Wednesday.